we tested the 3 most popular 6.2-liter V8 engines ever installed in the Cadillac Escalade after 200,000 miles. One of them hid thousands of dollars in future repairs behind what looked like perfectly normal operation. Another showed surprisingly little wear, and the engine everyone expected to lose came surprisingly close to winning. I've been working on Cadillacs for over 20 years. We tore down the L87, the L86, and the L92 under identical conditions and compared what actually matters after 200,000 miles. Let's get into it. The L87, 2021 through 2024 Cadillac Escalade. The L87 was supposed to fix everything owners complained about on the L86. Instead, it introduced an even more complicated system that many technicians now inspect before anything else. GM replaced active fuel management, the L86's binary switch between V8 and V4 mode, with dynamic fuel management, a system capable of operating in 17 different cylinder firing patterns depending on load. More sophisticated, more transitions, more variables cycling through the valve train on every single drive. What surprised me wasn't how much wear we found after 200,000 miles. It was how consistently it appeared across every system that DFM touches. The next thing that caught my attention wasn't the lifters. It was how evenly the wear was distributed. You could tell this engine had been working constantly in every direction since the day it left the factory. The lifters in the L87 are designed to cycle faster and more frequently than anything GM had put in an Escalade before. At 200,000 miles, the wear on these components was measurable and present in a way that any careful inspection would note. When an L87 lifter fails, the repair path is the same as the generation before it. Heads come off, camshaft comes out. Labor can exceed 30 hours depending on the shop and what they find once the engine's open. Depending on the extent of the damage, that repair can easily run into the mid to high 4 figures, and often considerably more. When we looked at the intake valves, this is where the next finding showed up. The L87 uses direct injection. Fuel sprays directly into the combustion chamber, bypassing the intake valves entirely. At 200,000 miles, carbon accumulation on the valve faces was visible and trending. Unlike a port-injected engine, there is no fuel washing over the valve faces between services. The accumulation builds silently, and the engine never tells you it's happening. By the time most owners notice something's wrong with an L87, the expensive part of the repair has usually already begun. I've seen engines chase injector problems, fuel quality, even ignition coils, when the real issue was already developing much deeper inside the valve train. NHTSA opened an investigation covering a large number of L87 equipped vehicles. GM issued a customer satisfaction program that, in confirmed cases, resulted in complete engine replacements. Documented engine replacements on L87 Escalades with relatively low mileage are part of the public record. At 200,000 miles, the bench showed us exactly why those reports exist. The L87 is not a failed engine, it's a complex engine. And at 200,000 miles, that complexity had been accumulating costs since the day it left the factory. The L86, 2015 through 2020 Cadillac Escalade. After the L87 teardown, we moved to the L86. The difference in what we were looking for was immediate. Unlike the DFM and the L87, the L86 uses active fuel management, a simpler system, a binary switch between V8 and V4, but a failure pattern that every technician who works on these trucks knows before they even pick up a wrench. You hear the tick on a cold start, you already know what the teardown is going to show. I've had owners come in convinced they had a noisy lifter, something minor. An hour later, we're pulling the valve cover. 2 hours after that, we're showing them a worn camshaft lobe. That conversation never gets easier. And it happens more on L86 Escalades than on any other Cadillac I work on. The AFM lifters in the L86 are hydraulic mechanisms that collapse under oil pressure to disconnect 4 cylinders from the valve train during light throttle. The system requires clean, correctly pressurized oil on every cycle to function the way it was designed. At 200,000 miles, the AFM lifters on our test engine showed the concentrated wear pattern that defines the L86's reputation. Collapsed lifter, damaged camshaft lobe. The kind of finding that turns a routine inspection into a significant conversation. Compared to the L87, the failure mode is more predictable, but that predictability doesn't make it less expensive. A full lifter and camshaft job on the L86 often lands in the 4-figure to low 5-figure range if the cam is damaged. Labor can exceed 25 to 30 hours depending on the shop. Some fleets have documented catastrophic failures well before 150,000 miles. One fleet operator reported 5 catastrophic engine failures across their Escalade fleet in 5 years. Once the intake came off, the direct injection carbon picture was clear. At 200,000 miles, the intake valves showed significant buildup, consistent with direct injection without fuel washing over the valve faces. Walnut blasting typically runs a few hundred to around $1,000 depending on shop and scope. The engine doesn't lose enough power in any single moment to make the problem obvious. It just gradually becomes less of what it was. This is why owners fear this engine, not because it can't be fixed, but because the AFM wear and the direct injection carbon can arrive together at the same mileage. And on a vehicle that originally cost $80,000 to $90,000, that combination is not what anyone expected when they drove it off the lot. Before we get to the engine that surprised everyone on the bench, I put together a free Cadillac buyer red flag checklist with the exact things I inspect before recommending any used Cadillac to a customer. The suspension systems to verify, the transmission behavior to listen for, the recalls to run before you drive anywhere. Print it out before you look at a car. First link in the description. The L92, 2007 through 2009 Cadillac Escalade. If I covered all 3 engines and asked most technicians which one had 200,000 miles on it, I don't think many of them would have picked the L92. The moment we pulled the valve cover off, the room got quiet. Not because of what we found, because of what we didn't find. No heavy carbon on the intake valves. No signs of the concentrated valvetrain wear that defined both engines that came after it. No evidence that this engine had spent its life fighting against its own technology. The L92 was the 6.2-liter V8 that launched the 3rd-generation Escalade in 2007. All aluminum construction. Variable valve timing, port injection, fuel enters through the intake port, washing over the valve face on every intake stroke, carrying deposits away before they can accumulate. And the 2008 and 2009 versions were built without active fuel management hardware in the valvetrain. No collapsible lifters, no system cycling the engine between operating modes thousands of times per drive. What that means at 200,000 miles is a valvetrain that spent its entire service life doing one thing: making power. Not switching off and on, not managing 17 firing patterns, not maintaining hydraulic pressure across collapsible mechanisms on every cycle. Just a pushrod V8 running the way pushrod V8 engines have run for decades. The intake valves showed the difference immediately. Port injection had been washing them on every intake stroke for 200,000 miles. Carbon buildup is far less of a concern on a port-injected engine than on the direct injection engines that replaced it. Compared to the L86, the valve condition was dramatically cleaner. Compared to the L87, the entire wear picture was simpler. Fewer systems involved, fewer failure points that had been cycling under stress since day one. The camshaft showed normal, even wear for the mileage. The kind of predictable mechanical wear that results from a valve train doing its job, without an AFM system concentrating load on specific components. When we measured the cylinder walls, the wear was consistent across all 8. No cylinder showing accelerated wear from being deactivated and reactivated thousands of times. The engine had worn evenly because it had worked evenly. Forum members have reported L92 engines crossing 250,000 miles without major powertrain repairs. A 2007 platform with the same architecture crossed 287,000 miles before the owner sold the vehicle. The engine was still running when it left. The L92 did not win this test because it was a perfect engine. It won because it was a simpler one. It spent 200,000 miles without the AFM system that drove the L86's repair costs, without the DFM complexity that added more failure points to the L87, without direct injection depositing carbon on valves that had no mechanism to stay clean. The oldest engine in this test carried less accumulated damage than either of the engines built to replace it. Not because GM forgot how to engineer a V8, but because the systems they added in pursuit of efficiency introduced failure points that the original engine simply didn't have. And at 200,000 miles, that difference was sitting right in front of us on the bench. 3 engines, 3 generations of the same 6.2-liter V8. One outcome that was far cleaner than we expected going in. The L87 at 200,000 miles showed the cost of DFM complexity. 17 firing patterns, direct injection carbon on top, a documented record of failures that go beyond high mileage. The most technologically advanced engine in this test produced the most expensive maintenance picture. The L86 at 200,000 miles showed what happens when active fuel management and direct injection both reach the end of their design service life at the same mileage. Concentrated valvetrain wear, carbon accumulation, layered repair costs arriving together on the same vehicle. The L92 at 200,000 miles won this test. Simpler valve train, port injection keeping the valves clean across the entire service life, no AFM concentrating wear on specific components, no DFM adding complexity that ages, fewer failure points working across the engine across 200,000 miles of operation. The L92 didn't win because it was flawless. It won because it simply had fewer expensive systems to age. If outright durability at high mileage is what you're measuring, the L92 wins this test. If you own an L86 or an L87, the maintenance picture we found at 200,000 miles is real, and it's coming. The only question is whether you know it's there before you buy the truck, or before the bill arrives. Which of these 3 do you have in your Escalade? Drop it in the comments. And if you're shopping for a used Escalade right now, tell me the year and the mileage. I'll tell you exactly what to inspect before you commit. Subscribe for more real-world Cadillac advice every week.